cult members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And welcome to our non-spoiler, whatever. It's our review of Enola Holmes. Spoilers, it's really good. Okay, thanks for coming. And that's how we're going to start. I said non-spoiler because, a lot of people are like, emotional about spoiling movies or whatever. But this really doesn't have a spoilery kind of thing to it. It's based off of a book that's based off of a character that's based off of historical characters, kind of.
There's a story that you don't want to divulge what happens along the way, but
yes,
but yeah.
But unlike the last one we did for Tenet, where we were like, I don't know.
It was good, but I can't explain it.
I can't explain it. It was good, and I can't say anything because then it spoils it. But this one, Millie Bobby Brown, Henry Cavill, Sam Calvin, Helen Bonham Carter. Like, this was meant to be in the theater, big boy movie kind of thing.
Yep.
And so it was just it was nice that it got to Netflix because of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, we probably would have seen it in the movie theater anyway because we have the A plus and the A list,
yeah.
And can go see 3 movies a week. But yeah, it was nice it was interesting because you really could tell that it was meant to be in the movie theater. And I don't know how to explain that other than, you could just tell it wasn't made for Netflix or made for Amazon thing.
It was definitely bigger production value, I think is the best way to kind of maybe explain it.
Yeah.
Not that Six Underground didn't have big production. It was Michael Bay, but it definitely had a bigger scope and feel.
A bigger feel,
than a normal made for streaming kind of thing.
Right.
There was some controversy about this movie before it came out. Not about the movie, but it was actually the rights of who has the rights to the movie and who has the rights to make stuff and everything. Apparently that all got solved because this was the most viewed movie on Netflix in a 3-day period they've ever had.
Ever?
Yeah.
Nice.
So
well, and social media, word of mouth. I didn't hear anybody say they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Everybody said they liked it.
Yeah, everybody was on top of it. And the reason I think that everybody was on top of it is it's just a heartfelt, fun time.
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of needed that kind of movie right now.
There's nothing. Yeah. I mean, it's Sherlocky, Sherlock Holmesy kind of
Holmes.
detective, right? But that kind of, and back in maybe the 1800s.
They set this in the time of Sherlock and the Arthur C. Doyle books, and so
I think it's like the late 1800s,
early 1900s.
This isn't really a spoiler. She drives a car, sort of. It has
a
this
joystick.
Is the steering wheel.
It's got a joystick and it's got 3 wheels and it does actually have a motor in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a car,
Yeah.
but and it's still that time period where girls went to finishing school, learned how to embroider and learned how to and that was kind of one of the catalysts for a lot of the story,
right?
That actually leads to her going off on this adventure and becoming her own kind of detective and stuff.
They touch on that in the trailer for the movie. You know, she talks about how my mother didn't teach me to embroider and cook or whatever. She taught me how to play chess and
word games
and table tennis in the parlor.
There's a lot of scenes in this movie that are my favorite scenes, but them playing tennis in the parlor is probably one of my favorite ones.
I guess it was actual tennis, wasn't it?
It was actual tennis over the couch, I think is what it was.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think Helena Bonham Carter was a perfect choice for that because we're used to her and kind of crazy, wackadoodle, sometimes crazy, evil,
Right.
and her mother is definitely
A free spirit.
a free spirit. Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't want to say crazy because she's not crazy. She just doesn't want to conform to how a proper English lady should behave, and she doesn't have to because her husband's dead. So
Right. She is allowed to do whatever she needs to do.
Yep.
So Helen also brings this really weird that we're starting with Helen, not the actors, but I'm totally okay with it. Helen brings a adventurous motherness that I think adds a layer to this movie that I don't think would have been there if you just had like she's very motherly and she's very caring in the scenes with the younger Enola. But I say younger Enola, but it's
she's when she's like 5 or 6,
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever.
But she also has that. Helen is just a perfect actress. Like I love her as an actress.
Yeah.
And so she was able to convey this motherly stuff, but also teaching, all this science and math and all this stuff
Right.
to her daughter, and also that whimsicalness of adventure and stuff.
Right.
And
She shows that you can be a woman and be quizzical, wanting to learn things, other things, but still be nurturing and still be
Yeah.
a good mom,
Yeah.
right? And which is especially interesting in that time period.
Right, exactly. Millie Bobby Brown, a lot of people have in the past been not critical, but hesitant about her as an actress.
Yeah.
Because she's so well known for playing 11 and everything that goes with that one role.
Yeah.
And she was really good in King of Monsters, Godzilla King of Monsters.
Yep.
But a lot of people were like, I don't know if she could be the lead of a movie.
Right.
And she's awesome.
Yeah. And she totally carries the movie. She does a great job. You see this in the trailers too. She does a lot of fourth wall breaks.
I was just gonna say that a lot of fourth wall breaks,
and it's fun, right? It's almost like Fight Club, Edward Norton kind of fourth wall breaks. Like completely.
Like you are part of the conversation.
Yeah.
The camera is part of the conversation
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
there. Like you're actually in the adventure with them whenever things are going on.
Like you're just her BFF and you're
Yeah.
standing right there
Yeah.
and she's telling you, what's going on or whatever. But a lot of it's pretty funny too.
It's funny, and it's like more than once she like kind of pauses and looks at the screen. She's like, hold on. And like, she's supposed to be doing something else, and then she talks herself into doing something else, and she always like, And then it's actually in the trailer where she's in the widow outfit, and she pulls the veil back and she goes, it's I, and it's just stuff like that
Yeah.
that was really. But she also was able to bring a level of emotion to it because she's kind of whisked off to finishing school that she doesn't want and can convey her dismay. I didn't know I was going to rhyme there, but whatever. But like just like you could feel that she looks broken, she acts broken, you feel it. And a lot of times when people act and do things, I'm like, oh my God, they're acting and they're acting really well. This was very natural.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between somebody acting really well and somebody just acting amazingly. It's like it was just that really easy,
right? Being in the character instead of
in the
acting
moment, yeah.
like the character.
Yeah, absolutely. Henry Cavill, he's pretty, he's big, he's Superman, he's a super geek.
Super geek.
He's freaking Sherlock Holmes. Jesus Christ. I didn't know that we needed another Sherlock after Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
But I would love to see more of Henry as Sherlock.
Yeah.
I would love to see
Yeah.
that. Now, if we go off the rumor that we're hearing right now, he could be the next Bond, which means he won't be any more of the Sherlock.
He's too big to be Bond.
We can have a whole conversation about Henry Cavill and Bond,
yeah,
but
whatever.
he brings a different view of Sherlock than what Robert Downey Jr. does and what Benedict Cumberbatch. They all three of them still have that inquisitive, observant view of everything, but his is much more reserved compared to Robert's and compared to Benedict's.
Yeah.
And so I like that because this movie is not about him.
Right. I was just going to say that. Yeah, I think if he had been kind of the over the top Benedict or Robert Downey Jr. kind of Sherlock, you would have Enola would have gotten lost.
Lost, yeah.
And yeah, he portrayed the essence of Sherlock without overpowering the fact that the story was not about him.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to buy a house, so there's
Phone.
like 1,000 different things and the election going on.
It's all the way over there.
It's whatever. Well,
Just listen to it for a few seconds.
it's almost over. And then Sam Calvin, who
Yeah.
is Finnick from Hunger Games. It's the one that we
Yeah.
know him from the most.
Yeah.
He's perfect as Minecraft.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because you hate him.
Yes, you hate him.
Hate him. And that's a very different Minecraft than we've gotten from both the Sherlock series and from the Guy Ritchie ones.
Right.
And so
right.
he is the quintessential 18th century male chauvinistic asshole.
Yeah.
And he plays it perfectly with a beautiful mustache.
Yeah. I wonder if they both grew those mustaches or if they were glued on.
I have many questions if that's Henry Cavill's mustache because of Mustache Gate. But this movie, like the story's fun, the story's interesting, you stay engaged. Like we said, this has a big theater feel to it. It just ended up on Netflix because of everything that happened.
Yep.
And
It's good, wholesome fun.
It's good,
Your
wholesome
kids can watch
fun.
it with you. It was fun for adults.
one little thing for me that I'm keeping my eye on. Millie Bobby Brown was a producer on this.
Yeah.
She's like 16 or 17
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
So when they started this process, she
Yeah.
was before. So if she's going to be what everybody thinks that she could be moving forward, she's the female Leo, where she's producing big boy movies and acting in Oscar level movies.
Yeah.
And if you're doing this at 16,
Look out, world.
the sky's a limit, and she's gonna be a woman in charge, like Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
They're producing their own movies and stuff like that, and I love that.
Yep.
I just love that.
Yep.
So, let's give this a score 4.25.
Is that your score?
Yes.
4 to 5. What? Yeah. 4.25. Yeah.
4.25.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's fair.
We will be watching this again. Absolutely. Actually, I thought about it the other day. I'm like, I would watch that. I could watch that again right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, like sometimes our scoring seems very odd. We might score something really high and be like, that's the only time we're going to watch it. And then we're just going to score something really low and say we're going to watch it a bazillion times. Like that's how it's going to be. But for where we are right now, I think this is just like one of the perfect movies for us this year.
Yeah. We could go into a whole diatribe about why we score things the way we do, but
Whatever. If you watch this long, you know that we're fans first and not critics. And that's what it
where
comes
the
down to.
scores are made up and where the something is made up and the scores don't matter. What is
points
that
are made
line?
up and the score doesn't
Scores
matter.
are, there we go. There you go.
There's our Whose Line Is It Anyway review of Enola Jones, Enola Holmes. Let us know what you thought of the movie and our review of it. Please be nice. Oh, God. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Follow us on all the social media stuff, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Where is he going? We're watching highlights from football. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and it's just hi.